Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Terry Humphrey. I'm on staff at Sunnyside, and I'm glad you're here joining us today for our D1. For those of you who may not know, our D1 is a simple devotion where we look at a book in the Bible and we pick out one verse. We have one thought about that. We share it with one person and we have one prayer about it. So today we're in Acts chapter 3. I hope you got the chance to read it. If you didn't, it's okay. I'll read part of it here today for you. The verse that really stood out to me today was verse 4. And it said, Peter looked straight at him, as did John. Then Peter said, "Look at us." So that seems kind of obscure. So let me tell you a little bit about before and then after. So Peter was talking to a man who couldn't walk, and he was actually moved to this gate called Beautiful every day where he would beg for money. And he came across Peter and John, and he was going to ask them for money. And so when he asked and he reached out to them, Peter and John did in fact heal him. But in the process of that, they said, "Look at me." And they wanted him to look at their faces. And I remember with my kids growing up, when I was saying something that I wanted to get my point across, it was really important, I wanted them to understand, I would always say, "Look at my face." And I wanted their face to be looking at my face so that we could understand one another. And we knew exactly where we were in communication. And I use that now with my grandkids. And so the fact that it just caught me that Peter said to him, "Look at me," because what he was about to do, the lame man didn't know. He didn't know he was going to be healed that day. He was hoping to get money just to get by. But Peter's like, "Look at me, because I have got something so much better for you. This is going to be life-changing." And I thought about that because I thought that's how we should be. We need to make sure that we're getting the attention of the people that we get to share Jesus with. People that may not know what's ahead of them. They might not know how good it can really get because they don't know Jesus yet. And so we need to get their attention. And if we could just say, "Look at me," maybe not just verbally, but in some way or another, get them to understand the importance of what you're about to say and the life-changing facts that you could share with them. It would just make such a huge difference in their lives. And so I just liked that. I liked that a lot, where he said, "Look at me." I will tell you a short little story. When my daughter was little, probably 3 or 4, we were at a wedding and she was not being good. So I took her in the hallway and I got in her face and I kind of said, "Look at me. You need to behave," and da-da-da-da. And I read her the riot act. And I said, "What do you have to say?" And she looked back at me and she said, "Your teeth are so white, Mommy." I was like, okay. So it doesn't always work with kids, but with adults it'll work. We should try it with adults. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to put your any questions or prayer requests or your ideas on chapter 3 in the chat so that we can go back and forth. I love it. Thank you for joining me. Bye.